Hey friends, Rick from BCW Supplies back again with getting into Flesh and Blood. In this week's episode, we're going to take a look at Flesh and Blood's sealed format for Tales of Aria. For this, I have my 6 sealed packs of Tales of Aria First Edition. We're going to open those up. I'm going to sort them out for you guys the way I sort and kind of explain why I sort the way I do. When you're in the limited format, you have a small amount of time to construct your 30-card deck, and I've found some tips and tricks that may help you along the way. I'll be using the BCW Elite 2 deck guard sleeves for this and all of my sealed events. I do like the quality of the sleeves, and I do like to make sure that I have a fresh pack of sleeves with me for any sealed event that I go to. Yes, at the calling, sometimes there are vendors there that sell sleeves, but I always like to just make sure that when I'm traveling to them, I have a couple of packs on me just in case I do a sealed event, or like the calling in Dallas, Fort Worth, or the calling in Cincinnati. Both of those are sealed events, so I know I will definitely need sealed sleeves with me. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get into opening these 6 packs, starting the sorting process, and evaluate which character we should build. All right, so here we are with the setup, my 6 sealed packs of Tales of Aria First Edition, and my first major tip for you. If you've already opened up a box of Tales of Aria First Edition, no doubt you have plenty of tokens to make a sealed deck set. And this is a huge tip. It saves a little bit of time of trying to track down at an event the characters or the token weapons or the tokens that you may need. So I pre-sleeve everything. Again, you can't have the equipment that comes unless it's one of the token cards, but according to Legend Story Studios, you can have a set of this with you for the purpose of sealed events. So I strongly recommend having a sealed set, if you will, just already sleeved up. I always try to make sure that these sleeves are different colors than the sleeves that I'll be using for the event, just that way I can keep it separate. And I have everything that I need without having to worry about opening it or tracking it down. Now, if you don't have that, don't worry. Most of these events will have a token station for you that you can use the tokens and find them. I just find it a lot easier, especially if you don't know something off the top of your head, like what Lexi's ability is or what the bow Shiver does. This will actually help you. So just throwing that out there, you can have this with you. It is within the rules of the sealed format. You'll be given 6 packs that are sealed, and they'll tell you to wait to open them until the appropriate time. Now, for larger events like callings, they're going to make you do a deck registration. You'll just have to listen to the judge at that. Typically, you're going to open up your cards and not sort them, hand them to the person across from you. They're going to have a sheet that has a list of cards. They're going to do the card count, the sorting for you, so to speak. Just checking everything that's on there. Counting down the requirement or the cards that you have in your pool that you can choose from. And then after that, they'll give you that list plus your cards back that you opened. You'll do the same for them. And then they'll give you a build time. And that build time is typically about 15 minutes to build. And that's why being very thorough on how you sort or what you're looking for is very important. You have a very small threshold of time to build your deck, and it's very crucial to get off on the right foot. So with that said, I'm just going to open up the packs. I'm going to show you how I sort. Now, again, in a rated event, they're going to have a way for you to do it. As far as you just open everything up, you can flip through it, pull out the token typically, and then you put the cards face down. And then your opponent, your not opponent, but the person sitting across from you at registration is going to go through it. Once they give you your cards back, I just like to sort things out real quick. So I do all of my elements and my elementals in one pile. And then I start doing my class-specific cards in another pile. This just lets me have a look at what I've got as I'm going through it. Now, when it comes to like the Guardian or the Elemental Guardian or the Ranger or the Rune Blade or their Elemental version, it doesn't matter in this format. You do want to make sure that you keep the Guardian cards together, the Ranger cards together, the Runeblade cards together. But this doesn't matter because there's not another Guardian to choose from. So I just pile them all together. And you just go through real quick, opening everything up. Again, this is more about sorting. Now you can look for certain cards. If you have a specific card that's always done well for you, like I love Ball Lightning, seeing a Ball Lightning early really makes me happy. But I'm not too concerned about what cards I open. At this point, I haven't gotten to the point of building. Let's see here. The other thing is like we did get one of the elemental, I think it was the Earth. Yeah, the Earth Amulet. Now that comes in the spot of the equipment. Equipment is very precious and limited. Again, you can't have equipment because they don't have tokens. So this is the pool that you have to pull from for equipment slots. So you do want to kind of keep track of that separately, keep them in a separate spot. Other than that, just sort things out. Again, you want to go through this with some speed. I'm talking going a little bit slower than normal just to make sure that I'm covering certain aspects with you while I'm doing it. It's kind of hard to actually do this while talking. Oh, that's a nice hit for an Earth card for a tome, and a nice Quake, and another piece of equipment. And again, we just really want to make sure that we are staying as organized as possible. Some mistakes will happen, but try to correct that. And again, we're just going to open these 6 packs for this. Again, just pulling the tokens down. I already have all the tokens I need because, you know, I brought my preset cards with me that I'm allowed to bring. Our equipment is really kind of all over the place right now, which is good because it doesn't really make me feel like I've got to go one specific way or another based on the equipment. The Rotten Old Buckler is great if you're going to go with Oldham. The Horning Hood is phenomenal if you're going with Lexi. And then the Suede Hide is perfect for the Runeblade. So really we've got some nice hits. I'm seeing a lot of really good Lightning. So, and that's kind of where you want to start thinking, you know, if you're seeing a lot of good Lightning, you know, maybe that's wanting me to go towards a Lexi build. Maybe that's wanting me to go towards a Briar build. You know, this is a great piece of equipment for Lightning as well. So I'm really feeling that Lightning is definitely going to shine here. And this is just some of the early stuff that I do to kind of start my thought process on how I want to build my deck. You know, I'm not discounting Frost at this point in time. You know, Frost could go with Lexi, Earth could go with Briar, but I'm really not feeling the Oldham pull so far. I've seen 2 of these, so that's really good for Briar. I've seen some good hits for Guardian as well, but I really not seeing the same consistent hits as far as the elemental cards are concerned for Frost. So there we go. That 6 packs opened up. I have 5 pieces of equipment because I did get 1 amulet. I have 2 of the same, so that doesn't matter. I'm really not feeling this, but we'll take a look through it. So my initial thoughts, just as I was opening things up, is Lightning looked really strong to me. Earth looked pretty good to me as well. Those 2 really kind of point me in the direction of Briar. And that's just how I start looking at things. But I haven't looked at Briar's specific cards yet. So that's one thing that we're going to want to take a quick look at. I will say this in case I don't feel comfortable with anything. I'll take a look here in the Guardian last, but I really want to see what I can do with Lightning. So we're just going to quickly go through it. Any of the reds are really good, but the Ball Lightning is absolutely amazing. Flash is a good card. Red Electrify is good. Lightning Press is a cheeky trick, and especially at the blue, just to get +1 damage in. So Flash, again, is another good one, especially for Briar. It's just another non-attack action that has Go Again. And we have some attack actions left here. We've got 3 of the Shock Strikers. And it's a once per turn instant. Shock Striker gains. If Shock Striker hits, the hero deals 1 additional damage for 2 resources. which is nice. The power goes up, it costs 1, so it's a 5 or it's a 3. But we have 2 reds, and that's really good to have. Lightning Surge, if it's played from Arsenal, has Go Again. It's a 0 for 3 in the yellow, and Heaven's Claws is just a 1 for 4 damage, but it's also lightning for any type of fusion. So that's where I'm at there. I'm just going to take a quick peek into my elementals. This is Earth Fuse. This is anything fused. This is Ice. This is Lightning. This is Earth, anything fuse, and Ice. So I've got a couple of Entwine Ice, 1 red, 1 yellow. I have 2 Earth, both yellow. I have an Invigorate and a Rejuvenate, and I have 1 Lightning fuse card when Entwine Lightning. So kind of an even split there. Kind of happy with this so far. Take a look at Earth. Earth has a lot of good cards, like Earth Lore Surge is phenomenal for pumping cards. We do have it in blue. Let's see, we have 2 in blue. The Tome is amazing. All right, so we have 2 of the pump effects. It's the weaker one, but it's also a blue pitch. It gives +3, it gives Go Again, and it costs 2, so that's really good. We've got some nice heavy hitters. This is just an amazing card out of Earth. As an additional cost of playing Tome of Harvest, put a card from your arsenal on the bottom of your deck. If you do, or you get to draw 3 cards. And it has Go Again, it costs 3. So really, you kind of want to play this with some blues. So right here, all of that is looking good. Breaking Ground is decent. Breaking Ground is, unfortunately, it's a blue, but it's an attack. And for 5, when you attack with Breaking Ground, you may put a card from your arsenal on the bottom of your deck. If you do, draw a card. Again, this is just being able to put a card from your hand into your arsenal. Maybe you want to play it, maybe you don't. It really lends itself well to Briar, in my opinion, just because you get to cycle through some cards and get to draw an additional card when you attack with this one. And if you have a way of giving this card Go Again, such as the Lightning token from Briar's ability, that card draw could be very important. We've got some decent reds, we've got some decent yellows in Earth as well. So far, those 2 are looking really good. So this is where my thought process is right now. I want to look at what Briar has to offer, but I'm not discounting Lexi just yet. So we have Stir the Wildwoods, and really what I want to do here is kind of take these out, these sigils. The Sigils of Suffering are defense reactions. There's not a lot of defense reactions, but what makes these really good and limited is that when you play it, it costs 0, it deals an arcane damage. Well, there's not really a lot of arcane barrier. Well, there's no arcane barrier, and there's only a couple of cards that can prevent the damage from this. If it deals damage, it gets +1 defense, so it goes up to a 0 for 4 or a 0 for 3. It's really a positive to have those defense reactions in my mind, plus it's additional arcane damage. Then I kind of want to look at, Earth Fusion, Lightning, Earth, Lightning, Earth, generic on the blue spell blades. But again, this is a nice split damage. It costs 1, but it deals 2 damage +1 damage, arcane damage when you attack with it. So it's not on hit, it's when you attack with it. We have another Inspire Lightning. So a Lightning, an Earth, a Lightning, Earth, and Earth. And so I just quickly sort this way. I pull like ones together. Here we go. We have 3 Stir the Wildwoods, 2 Rites of Replenishment, and 1 Bramble Spark. Now, Bramble Spark is an awesome fuse Earth card. I like to see more of these because it's a nice pump effect. It does have Go Again, it costs 0. These are some really decent attacks with Rites of Replenishment, basically allowing you to put cards back onto the bottom of your deck. And Stir the Wildwood, it gets pluses for 2 different things. One, if you've dealt arcane damage, it gets +2, and then if it was fused with Earth, it gets +2 as well. So really, you can get this up as a 9 damage for 2, and arcane damage again is very hard to prevent in this format. So it really can climb quickly in the damage. So that's really the Earth cards. The Arcane Shockwave, Rites of Lightning, another Arcane Shockwave, and 2 Inspire Lightnings and 2 Veil of Flesh. Now, Veil of Flesh is a phenomenal card. I absolutely love this card. If you fused it, you may play your next non-attack action card as though it were an instant. This is a very cheeky way for Briar to get Go Again, because a lot of your non-attack action cards have Go Again. So if you attack with a card that doesn't naturally have Go Again, like this, Bella Flesh, and you fuse it, then you get to play a non-attack action card that has Go Again, so you get your action point refreshed, and this attack still goes through. So it's really great. Inspire Lightning is a great card. It's a nice way to just deal some arcane damage. And again, this combos exceptionally well with Ball Lightning. One of the reasons why I like Ball Lightning with Briar is because it's increasing the damage of your elemental or lightning attacks. So it's increasing the damage that this does, and if it was fused, it deals 1 arcane damage. But with the Ball Lightning that was played first, this is actually going to deal 2 arcane damage or 3 arcane damage at the cost of 1. Rites of Lightning is really good because it basically, when you fuse it, you get to do 1 arcane damage when it attacks. If you dealt arcane damage, Rites of Lightning gains Go Again in this format. Rites of Lightning is a really good card to be on the lookout for. Arcanic Shockwave. This is a lightning fusion that when you attack, if it was fused, it deals 1 arcane damage to target hero. It's a 0 cost. We have it in blue. A lot of blues and a lot of yellows. That's one thing that I'm really concerned about. I don't see a lot of reds in the lightning. A few in here. So overall, I'm looking at this pool going, I can get a lot of attacks. I can go wide. The lightning looks good. I really think this is where I'm going to go, but I do want to check out Lexi, because again, we have a lot of good lightning cards. I want to see what our ranger cards look like. Again, we can do this the same way, where you just kind of sort real quick: ice, lightning, lightning, ice, lightning, lightning, generic, lightning, lightning, ice, lightning, generic, generic, ice, ice, lightning, and lightning. And I'm seeing a lot of red in here, and I really like to see red when I'm looking at Lexi. Just higher damage on the arrows. We have 2 overflexes, 1 red, 1 blue, which is amazing for pumping damage. Now we have the Bolton Shot, which is nice because it does give you the ability to reload. Again, it's a 0, it's a blue. Blues are important in this. When I look here at the ice, I don't have a lot of ice, but I've got 2 chilling ice veins. When it was fused, whenever this deals damage, this turn your opponent discards a card unless they pay 1. So really, you're still getting a card out of their hand because they typically have to pay a resource. And it's a 1 for 5. And we have 3 of those. We have 1 blue and 2 red. We have a yellow flake out. It basically, if it's fused, it gains Dominate. If you don't know, the bow Shiver, you have the option of giving Dominate, or you have the option of giving plus damage. So if the card is going to get Dominate because of fusing, you can always just choose to plus its damage. And then we have Blizzard Bolt. Blizzard Bolt, if it was fused whenever an attack deals damage to a hero this turn, create a Frostbite token under their control. Then we get into our lightnings. We have 3 Frazzles. We've got 2 Buzz Bolts. We have a Snapshot, Dazzling Crescendo, or we have 2 Snapshots and a Dazzling Crescendo. And we have a lot of red here, a lot of 5 and 4 on the arrows. Lightning typically is going to have some either additional damage like Frazzle. If it was fused with lightning, deals damage this turn, instead deals that much damage plus 1. So we have 1 red and 2 yellow, Dazzling Crescendo. If it was fused, it gains Go Again, and this is a 0 for 4. 2 Buzz Bolts. If it was fused, whenever an attack hits a hero this turn, it deals 1 damage to them. Snapshot, if it was fused, the ability of the bow, and you can use the ability of your bow an additional time, as though it were instant, and you have 2 of those, 0 for 4, 0 for 3. So we've got a lot of good lightning here as well. We've got the Bolton Shot, we have the Overflex, we have 2 of those. So we're looking pretty good for lightning. The Frost is a little weak here. I do want to kind of check out what I have in the Frost cards now that I've looked there. Winter's Bite, Weave Ice, that's a good one to hit. Icequake isn't bad. Again, anything that's plussing your damage is really good. So Icequake, we have another Icequake. Yeah, we've got a lot of good pumps just in these three with Weave Ice, giving +3 if it refused, it gains Dominate. This gives +2, and whenever an attack hits under this turn, create a Frostbite token under their control. It's got Go Again, low cost, plussing damage. I mean, really right now, I really feel like Lexi is probably the way to go with this particular pool. We don't have a lot of Frost, but we have ways to get some of the Frost type of effects out of the Frost cards. One thing I really like to do is just kind of quickly count my arrows. So it looks like I'm sitting at about 15 arrows, which gives me 1 or 2 that I could trim on if I wanted. So Lexi's looking really good. The hood is absolutely amazing. You can destroy it, return all cards from your arsenal to your hand, and then put a card from your hand face down into your arsenal. And the reason why that is good is because Lexi's ability pretty much says you flip up a card. Once per turn, turn a face down card in your arsenal face up. If it's a lightning card, your next attack gains Go Again. If it's an ice card, you create a Frostbite token under the hero control. Target hero's control, meaning Go Again. So really good with Shiver. I really like this. I don't know if I like this more than the Majestic Bow, because this actually can give Dominate, and in Limited, when you're giving Dominate, you're really pushing some extra damage through, limiting what they can block with. And again, as we can see, equipment is very crucial to determining what you want to do. Mark of Lightning, whenever a lightning or elemental attack you control is defended by cards from your hand, you may destroy Mark of Lightning. If you do, the attack deals 1 damage to the defending hero. Now this combo is great with things that are going to get Frostbite tokens, because if they full block it, you have Mark of Lightning up, and it's an elemental card, one of the elemental ranger cards that was fused with ice. You can still pop it. The attack's still going to do 1 damage. Even if they overblock it, it's still going to do 1 damage to the defending hero, and you get the trigger off of any on-hit effects. So I really think this pool is leading me towards Lexi, and I really think that this is probably going to give me the best chance of being successful with this pool. Now, last thing we'll look at here real quick is the Guardian. Again, we've got some good thumps. We have some good Guardian cards. I mean, the 2 thumps really makes me happy. I didn't see a lot of the Earth cards that pump, unfortunately, which is something you really want to see. We only had 2, and now they are blue, which are great for Oldham because they pitch for 3, but you're not getting the big pumps out of it. You know, we had a couple of Frost that pumped, but I don't really see enough here to say, oh yeah, this is what you should do. We're a lot in the yellow, which is kind of an awkward place to be. The Strength of Sequoia can be good, but it takes setup time. Same with the Emerging Avalanche. I didn't see anything here that made me go, ooh, I definitely want to play Oldham, except the fact that we opened the Rotten Old Buckler, and this is really just 1 block defense on an attack. But still a good card to have if you're going to play Oldham. I could make a case for playing Briar, but I think there's a stronger case to play Lexi with this particular pool. Well, these are the cards that I have. This is what I saw. Maybe you saw something different. If you did, please feel free to leave a comment. We only get better by learning from one another. So until next time, remember, when it comes to collecting, storing, or displaying your hobbies or collectibles, BCW has you covered.